Okay. Hi, it's me. Alright, so it's been, I guess that's annoying for you, but I can't see. Alright, so it's been about 24 hours. It's the next morning. I can't say I slept much last night. Less getting stuff done, more just being really anxious. I think my camera's crooked. So, here's an update. So, we still don't know what's happening. A bunch of people came by yesterday. People with older cars can still drive. So like mine, their car started. People with newer cars, not so much. Nobody really knew what was happening during the day. A couple people said they were going to go try and find some answers. They haven't been back. I don't know what happened. I'm not leaving because I don't want to leave my animals. I don't want to get separated, from my animals. It's not the stuff, it's the animals. And we're just kind of waiting. On the shortwave, I only could pick up Spanish channels. I haven't found anybody that understands Spanish, and then like one evangelical channel, but they were just praising and hysterical about the end of the world. So I don't want it to be the end of the world. And technically it's not, because, technically I can survive off-grid. So it's not that it's different. It's the anxiety of not knowing what's happening and the uncertainty around all of it. And I would say, as a social worker therapist, that I'm still in shock because there's a pretty high degree of I don't want this, and I don't believe it's true, and this can't be happening. And one of the good thing is I'm out in the middle of nowhere. The bad news is I'm out in the middle of nowhere. I got no frame of reference because we're all kind of in the dark, and civilization is really, really far away. I haven't even seen a sheriff car go by. I haven't heard any kind of alert. Some people said before dawn they heard a thump yesterday morning, some kind of pulse, but who knows if that's true or that's imagining. I haven't seen any aircraft go across, even though actually it sounds like something's up there now. I know there's an Air Force base about not air miles straight, probably not very far, but a couple hours by car. So we get a lot of military going across this mountain pass. So I have no idea if the military protected, if it was an EMP, or I'm assuming it was an EMP at this point, because so nothing's working and it hasn't come back on, and nobody here has satellite, so we don't have any sense of what's happening, and anybody who said they had shortwave hasn't come back yet. So I'm just doing this quick update this morning because this day is the critical day. Yesterday, there was a lot of people talking. There was a lot of time lost in talking about what might be happening. But we've hit the 24-hour mark, so I don't feel comfortable waiting to see what happens. So I'm just taking this few minutes out right now to document what my day is going to be like, and my priority is to secure the water that I have and start setting up any kind of rain collection, because we're in monsoon season, so we do have access to rainwater if it rains. I need to deal with the frozen cold food. It doesn't make any sense for me to can it because I can't travel with canning, and if we don't have a way to get water, I know there's a solar generator on somebody's well, but I have no idea if that survived or is still functional. I don't even know the question to that. Does an EMP knock out a solar inverter and generator and charge controller? And does it affect the battery? That's a really good question. You can have all the solar you want, but does the EMP knock out the components? They have wires in them, right? Okay, so I don't know the answer to that question, and the reality is I can't walk like 5 miles up and back to get water every day or whatever. So I still have anxiety. I still am freaked out. I know my car works. We haven't had any real conversations yet because, like I said yesterday, I can't take everybody in my car. And even if I could, I don't even know where I'd go. So I've got it tucked away and hidden because I don't want people who drive by to see that I still have a truck full of gas. It will get me about probably 300 miles confidently, what's left in it. 400 if I am going downhill and coasting. So I have a radius of that I could travel in. But it would be one way, and I don't know how safe it would be, and I'm not sure if I can leave all my stuff. These are all the questions that, we talk about, and we video about, and people made videos about, and even I made videos about it, and now I'm having like a real conversation in my head, like what am I going to do? So, uncertainty, anxiety, stress. I think most of us are still in shock. There's still a numbness and a disbelief. Some people aren't functioning. Some people are disassociating. Some people are checking out. And this is when things are most dangerous because you have a tiny window to get stuff done. And if your group isn't functioning, this window will be lost. Like I said, we got food, we got water. That are critical supplies. Luckily, I don't have any imminent. She just still doesn't know anything's happening, right? I just want to play. This is how it was in the olden days. There was no panic about the power going out. There was no power. It was just another day. So, but this is the moment where the first, 72 hours, I think, are the most important because the food is going bad. The water is getting taken, and the defenses are being set up, and the scary people are starting to calculate who's vulnerable. So I think the first 24 hours, it hasn't been scary in terms of needing to be defensive, but I would say in the next 48 to 72 hours is when the predator class will start looking out after the I hear a motor in the background. I don't know if you guys can hear that. It sounds like a ATV or a motorcycle. God bless old equipment. All right, so there's lots to do. I have to make lists like I did yesterday to kind of push myself through it because really all I want to do is go in and pull the covers over my head and say, boy, that was a really scary movie. Or a bad dream. I don't want to participate in that anymore. However, that does not solve any of my problems. So technically, that is a shock response. Some people will just completely collapse. It's called freeze. And if that's somebody in your crew or community, it's good to know because you can't count on them because they freeze up. So my fight response is starting to kick in. The adrenaline is helpful. I know that I will crash, though I can't sustain, because of my health conditions and my age, I can't sustain long terms of adrenaline anymore. The good old days, right, where you could just charge around for 48 hours. So, all right, so this is my day 2 check-in. But the next, like I said, from 24 to 72 hours, that's going to be the most critical because things are starting to go bad, people are starting to panic, and predators are starting to think predatorily because obviously the police aren't coming by. So I wonder how old their cars are. I think that's good if you live in a community with old police cars, right? Old sheriff's car. I would not go to work. If I was military or if I was a first responder, I wouldn't be going to work. Why would you go to work? This is a panic situation. If this is real, if this is a real EMP and the lights are out and this is happening, I'm not going to work. I know when I worked in the hospital, I know I'm rambling. When I get nervous, I ramble. But on my badge, in case of emergency, this person can report to the hospital. And I'm like, in an emergency, I'm not going to the hospital. I'm not going to work. Why would you go to work? I got my own family to take care of. So I will check in with you, or I will be documenting this because there's no you anymore. It's weird. It's hard to get unhooked from the old days where I would post to my YouTube community. Now I'm just talking to myself, but having lived alone for so long, I'm really good at that. Actually, I have an audience of 2. He's still in there sleeping. I have no idea what I'm going to do about Freedom because he can't walk very far anymore. Neither can I. All right, so I'm snapping out of it. Lots to do today, 24 to 72 hours. So that's day 2, day 3. Lots of crap to do. I don't know if I'll be able to check in with you tomorrow or not. It depends on how things are going. Again, check in with you. I can't get unhooked from that. It's so hard to think I'm not talking to anybody, but I'm maybe posting for posterity. So if I was watching this in 100 years, what would be the takeaway? How stupid was our civilization? That would be my takeaway. Our civilization was stupid because we were arguing about politics and things that didn't matter. And now we're all going to die. Yay! I do believe when this is over, though, the strong will prevail and humanity will become something better. I believe it will be a renaissance. But that doesn't help me right now. So I just got to get through, especially the next 2 days. I can do this. I can do this. You can do this, Jill, right? You can do this. And for those of you in the future who may be watching this, I guess you'll know if I did it or not. I won't know. I'm in real time. Oh, you know, I guess a sense of humor, while inappropriate, is a coping device. Here we go. See you tomorrow. Well, maybe not. Maybe the next day.